speaking of those types of startups, you did founded TrueLeap.
Yes.
Which is your latest startup. Tell me a little bit about what that is and what kind of problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, that's almost like our third child, right?
Okay.
It was born out of my 20 years of teaching experience and frustration of current learning management system. So I don't know if your kids use Blackboard or Canvas in their study, or your grandkids.
We homeschooled, so we took the harder route.
Oh, but you essentially, didn't have to bother dealing with those dinosaurs, what I call. They have pretty much occupied all the universities and public school system in the United States, but they're so clumsy to use. Just imagine. I am obsessed with efficiency, Chris. Like, if I have to click like a dozen times to get to where I want to get to, that's enough. Like, so essentially, as an educator, and of course also as a parent of school-age children, I just felt like this is really not working. And then when I was comparing notes with my family and friends in India and other countries, believe it or not, even developed countries like Germany, there's a lack of digital infrastructure in those places. They're piecing together a combination of Google Classroom, Google Drive, and Zoom, and Slack or WhatsApp, But then it's almost like, imagine when you are learning, you have to deal with all the different interfaces to stitch them together. Again, it's really not effective. So that's really when I was like, okay, on the one hand, I'm proud that my students were probably the most prepared when we switched from in-person to online, because I already adopted all the, tech stack in my teaching. But then what I saw was my kids were struggling because they switched online, and I never used to worry about their academics. And then I realized they were behind. It turns out, it's so hard to keep up. The communication's really not ideal. And as a parent, I almost felt like it was a test for me. Mm-hmm. And, it was really hard for also teachers to navigate. I have friends who teach in Atlanta, who's also part of the Women in AI cohort. I was, advising at the time. And turns out they had to go through 2 weeks of training. So essentially, it's just not working. And that's when I decided, okay, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna develop the most user-friendly and cost-effective learning management system as the starting point of a global education data company. The reason is, imagine there's tons of engagement data that's not being captured. Like, the moment you finish a Zoom meeting, like, all the chats are gone, all the engagement data is gone. It's not really captured throughout. So essentially, by starting with a learning management system that not only provides the interface for the students and the teacher, we also have a lot of insights through a data dashboard for the administrators. Imagine if they have hundreds of schools all over the country, they want to have one place where they see what's happening. And that's missing too.